road again.
Morning.
Good morning. It is 12:14 a.m. on Wednesday the 6th, and we are headed to where we always head to.
Hold on, back up.
What?
Wednesday the what?
6th, right?
Oh, God. Hate that effing
The
bump.
big f***ing sign that said bump? Oh my God. Okay, well, apparently we can't read a big red-orange sign that says bump with a big black stripe across the road. Pray for our tires.
They're fine.
Just because you want them to be fine. As I was saying, we're heading where we're always heading, which is St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Barnes Jewish, and this might be one of the most wasteful.
No, because I'm going to find out about my surgery too.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that makes it a little bit better, but we're the appointment is for an MRI of
And
my.
it's not wasted because we get to spend the whole day together, so thank you very much.
Well, no, I mean gas, resources, time, money.
What is that?
What is time and
What
money?
is money? Oh, my God.
But yeah, so it's just a big hassle because, you know, Leah's got to work at 6 and take Charlotte with her, and we have to make this 10 to 12 hour round trip, all for a 45-minute abdominal MRI so that they can peek at my liver tumors and do their, you know, quarterly check, seeing how if there's any that are growing, any new ones, if they've grown like malignant little malicious spikes, or if they're still benign and innocent. Innocent-ish.
The only thing that makes it wasteful is because our medical down here sucks.
Right.
So,
I mean, it would be so much more convenient and less expensive and less risky and all of the things if we could just. They can't even perform MRIs here.
they don't even know that. One, they don't know. They're like, oh, we treat MS. Tell them what medication I'm on. We've never heard of that. Then you don't treat it. Two, they don't even know. You had to tell your doctor what kind of tumors you were, so
and
he could look them up to educate himself.
Yeah, last time I went to my primary care manager, and I applaud him for this, but at the same time, this kind of gives you an idea of the medical care here.
Mind you, he graduated in the 30s, but still.
He's an older man, so if that factors in, maybe it's been a while since he's been educated, but I'm pretty sure they have like continuing education seminars and stuff to like bring them abreast of medical advances and such. But I went to my PCM last time I went to my PCM. Hey, look, an armadillo. Oh, little possum.
Nope.
What was that?
That was an armadillo.
Oh, was that an armadillo?
Yep.
Oh, little armadillo just meandering. It wasn't the last time I went. I'm sorry. It was probably the first time when I switched to him.
Yeah, it was like 8-9 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, and, you know, he was asking about my medical records and stuff like that, and we were talking, and he was talking to me about my tumors and stuff, and he was like, you know, it says here that you have inflammatory hepatic adenoma type beta-catenin. I can't say that I've heard about that. What do you know about it? And I was telling him, and he was like, okay, that sounds interesting, but I've never heard of this. Would you mind giving me a few minutes? And I kind of want to look in my computer here. I want to look up your tumors and kind of get some medical, technical information. And he did, right next to me, right in front of me. He asked me how to spell it, and, you know, he looked him up, and he was like, okay, yeah, I mean, everything you said about your condition checks out. I mean, and so, but he took that, he wasn't too ashamed to say, no, I have never heard of that.
He's like, I learned something new every day.
Yeah. And he's like, you know, well, thank you for being my learning experience for the day. I've learned about something new. And he's like, you just tell me what you need and I will get it, because I've never heard of this tumor. This is really, really rare.
Yeah, that's one thing I really, really, really like about this doctor, because all the other PCMs that you've seen are like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
he was like, you tell me who you need to see,
and we'll make it happen.
I will make it happen. I'll refer it. And then when you told him what you need, his words, yeah, you need to go to Barnes. Yeah, Barnes. Go to Barnes.
He didn't just send me to the closest thing. He was like, Carti is about 4.5 hours away. They're
Stay
a cancer
away from there.
treatment center, but you need to stay away from there. They're newer. They used to be a cancer research center, but now they've just, in the last decade, 5 to 10 years, have started treating cancer, but they haven't proven themselves in the community medically, like that they're effective and they know what they're doing. So please don't go there. And then we could try finding a place in Memphis, but Memphis doesn't have much better statistics in successful treatment, especially with a condition as rare as yours. He's like, in the region, I would recommend Barnes Jewish. And I'm like, okay, good, because that's where I want to go. So,
if you were a child, Memphis has some of the best children's hospitals in the nation. St. Jude's is there. There's 2 other ones that I can't think of. The biggest is St. Jude's, but I mean, if you're not a child to preteen, you're just kind of SOL.
Yeah, and he was just like, there's really nowhere regionally that I can confidently recommend to you outside of Barnes if you're willing to travel, and Sundown already goes there anyway. So I was like, yeah,
because I had asked him about my MS, and he was like, no, stay where you're at.
Yeah, we had asked, like, maybe is there a doctor or a facility or a medical group locally, Memphis or in Little Rock, somewhere even a little bit closer, and he was like, I would stay where you're at. So
that makes us feel better about where we're going. But
it makes me feel better. I mean, no, I feel confident in Barnes for the most part. I don't know about their OB oncology. Not real confident in that. At least not that one doctor.
Well, I gave you those.
Yeah, I've got
those referrals.
I guess we found out last time we were up there, she has a reputation, and it's not a good one, and great. Love that for me.
It's not a bad one. It's just she's new and upcoming and thinks she knows everything. And she's kind of got an attitude, one of those if I don't know it, it doesn't exist attitudes. So, but anyway, so because of the rarity of my tumors, I go there, and you would think that, well, it's just an MRI. You can get that done anywhere. But I have had I have given the medical facilities locally multiple tries. 3.
Mammograms and
4
MRIs. And every time there's been a problem. I've talked about this on the channel in some places before, but I have tumors in both of my upper chesticle twins, if you get my drift. And I had at last check in California 2 years ago, I had 2 tumors, one in each, and they were biopsied and titanium clipped. I did have a 3rd tumor, but it was surgically removed. The other 2 were biopsied, and they put a clip in them so that they could monitor their growth. They're the same type of tumor that's in my liver, except for minus the hepatic designation. So my liver is inflammatory hepatic adenoma B-catenin or beta-catenin. But the ones in everywhere else in my body are regionally designated. So that would be, I don't know what they call, I guess just a breast inflammatory hepatic adenoma, or not hepatic, a breast inflammatory adenoma type B catenin. The one in the brain would probably, a brain inflammatory hepatic, not hepatic. I always say that. Inflammatory adenoma. But in any event, it's the same general type of tumor that's everywhere else. And so they put clips in there, which was risky in and of itself because these are rupturable, very fragile tumors. But I know that there's titanium clips in there. And I've seen them on images up until I moved to Arkansas. And then I had my mammogram here.
You moved here and
I was magically healed.
Cured.
Yeah, every image that's been done since I've gotten here, like I'm miraculously cured of all of my tumors, and apparently the metal clips in my chest.
Everything.
I don't know if they made a mistake and like mixed up files and images or what, but the mammogram did not show metal in either of my two twins, and every other mammogram prior has titanium clips till I moved here and had the one done, and I was like, I don't think those are mine. And mine have metal in them.
They make mistakes here. I've had blood work twice taken down here that was messed up. It was somebody else's blood, not mine. That's why I go to Quest now in Jonesboro.
Yeah, I got to go there too to get those other, and my cancer markers are due. So, but then I went to the St. Bernard. That was at St. Bernard's where they like metal clips in my chesticles weren't showing up in the MRI. Whether it was their machinery, their radiologist. I saw the images. I was like, where are the metal clips? That's the first thing I said is, I'm like, are you sure these are mine?
Yeah.
I asked the time, like, are you sure these are my twins? Because I don't see my metal clips or the tumors.
And me being me, I went online for hours looking to see, all right, can they move? Can they weasel their way out? Can anything? And they're like, no, once they're placed, they are placed. So, and I've got the same as what get one report from somewhere and then get it from somewhere else, and nowhere that I looked up.
Talked about coyote darting across the road. What?
Coyote.
That was a coyote?
Yep.
Well, I saw a blur. I was a brief blur. Oh, this is not a good sign. We have animals crossing our path at 2 now in the first 15 minutes.
It's normal.
But then I went to St. Bernard's, and I had to try to save this trip, I had my liver MRI done, my first one here done.
Yep. And
it came back, even though it was ordered with Eovis dye, they did not obey the order, and they used Galidium or whatever, however you say, the regular dye, and that kind of dye, the way my tumors are, something to do with enzymes. I'm not a medical person, a science person, but I guess it has something to do with the enzymes in Eovis work to show my tumors, but the regular dye that they would normally use for average everyday everything else masks my tumors, hides them. So they used the regular dye, took the images, and they were like, there are no tumors here. And I'm like, how is that possible? I have 24 tumors. I was being seen by an oncologist, the head of the liver oncology department at City of Hope Cancer Treatment Center in California. I trust his expertise. I can't believe that, and I've had 2 biopsies. I've seen them on images. Like, what do you mean there aren't any? Well, look, and I'm just like, these tumors don't just go away. Some do. There are some types of tumors that can, dissipate, but mine aren't that kind. And I was just like so perplexed. So I went, and that's how I got referred up to Barnes.
Yeah,
and
you went to Cape the first time.
yeah, and that's how they were like, nope, let's get a second opinion, and they reordered the MRI up at Barnes, and ba-ding,
And then they were like, all right, you need to have another one, so we're going to try a different facility down here.
Yeah, when my next checkup came up, they were like, well, let's schedule your MRI. And I'm like, well, there is another medical group. Can we try NEA? And that's where Andy was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we give them a try? Maybe they'll get it right. And so they said, okay, and I'm like, good. Because, if I can spare myself this trip for one singular MRI and nothing else, then... so I went there, and the same exact thing happened. They used the regular dye.
But they lied and said that they did use that.
Yeah, but they did lie. Boldface lied to me. I asked them before I crawled on the table and got shoved in the tube. I asked them, are you sure that you're using Eovis? Can you double check the order and double check what you're pumping into me? And, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We know what we're doing. We are following doctor's orders. Let us do our job. Basically, sit down and shut up. And I'm like, okay. They put me in.
That was the fastest MRI, too. I think you were only in there like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy fast. And they did put the dye in, and Eovis gives me a whole body chill. Whereas... the Galidium or whatever it is gives a whole body warmth, like you're gonna pee yourself, like you're it tricks you into thinking you're peeing yourself, and the Eovis actually tricks you into thinking you're turning to ice. So when they shot the dye in, and I'm expecting to be freezing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I peeing? When I got that sensation, I was like, no, they used the wrong dye. And so I was not at all surprised when the MRI came back and the radiologist report said no evidence of tumors. I had that report sent to my Barnes Jewish specialists guy, my oncologist liver guy, and he said, well, first of all, they used the wrong dye. Second of all, they notated that they could see no tumors, but I can see the kind of like the hint of your two biggest ones, which I've named over the years Bertha and Baby Bertha. And he's like, so they're hidden, they're being masked. But I know what I'm looking for, where I'm looking, and I can see the hint of them. So you're just gonna have to come up here. He was like, we're done. And then another problem I had with the radiology here was back at the first place, St. Bernard's, when I was in the emergency room complaining of stroke symptoms. And they didn't run the right tests. According to the neurologist at Barnes, they didn't run the right tests, and they didn't see that I was literally actively having a stroke in their care while I was in the hospital. And they didn't see the brain damage that stroke did. So that was very clearly evident when they took the images up at Barnes. They redid the images, and it was very clear that I had a stroke. And there's now a little dead part of my left parietal lobe because of it. And they said there's a chance, slim chance, but a chance that if they had done what they were supposed to do and took the right images and did the right medical protocol, when I came in complaining of stroke symptoms, it could have spared the brain damage. They could have given me blood thinners or whatever, and maybe broken the clot up or dissipated the clot before it damaged me. But they didn't take me serious, and they didn't do the right tests, and their radiologist did not do their job.
Nope.
So,
like always.
Yeah, we just cannot trust specifically the radiology department, but generally pretty much any medical care.
And
up here
is what's scary.
Down here, I guess.
How many people have been misdiagnosed, mistreated?
Yeah,
for stuff.
Yeah, well, just imagine if I didn't know that I had liver tumors and chesticle tumors and a brain tumor and stroke issues, right? Imagine if this was new to my life and I go there like, hey, I'm not feeling so good, or it's time for like, you know, I have these symptoms, and so they do these checks and they, oh no, we don't see nothing, everything's fine, and I have dozens of tumors and they don't do their job right. I mean, imagine if that were the case, if I didn't know it coming in to the, you know, to these doctors. That's scary. That's really, really scary, considering how many attempts at MRIs and imaging that they've done, and they've been wrong every time. Like, that is so scary.
Yeah.
It scares me for, like, anyone, but, I mean, that could be our daughter. You know, she has chronic migraines. You know, what if one of them, she goes through a particularly bad patch and gets a brain scan, an MRI or whatever, and they look and they're like, everything's fine, and it isn't. Well, no, I mean, she'll never know, because they don't do their job right. It's terrifying. So, yeah, we're heading up there for. It seems silly to drive so far and so long for just something as routine as an MRI, but they've proven time and time again here that they can't do it and do it right. They can't, you know, follow doctor's directions or whatever.
Facts.
So, whether it's they don't use the right dye, or their radiologist is blind, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Is what's sad, because, like, you know, you had asked me, you know, how's the medical here, and I'm like, the medical is pretty good. You know, stay away from NEA. St. Bernard's is good. You know, and
that's kind of flip flopped.
Yeah, it just, they went from being really good to being like the worst. Because, like, I mean, insurance companies are
pulling out from
them.
Yeah. Well, NEA isn't much better. Take Andy, for example. You know, he had been being seen at Carti, and then, but he lives here. He was traveling there for his cancer treatment, Little Rock, and then he got pneumonia and started getting water retention here, and that's what he was in the hospital for when we went to see him. And they called the cancer, they have a cancer center at that hospital, NEA. And I saw the sign for it. And I asked him about it while we were there. And he said that they called an oncologist up there to talk to him and see him when he first got admitted and explained that he had cancer. And he said that doctor seemed like very dismissive and very uncaring. He said he flipped through the medical chart and just kind of looked at him and said, I mean, I would have done what they did. There's nothing more I can do for you. Why was I even called up here?
Yeah.
And he was just like, well, you can't you, you know, like run your own tests and, you know, try your own treatment, get me back on treatments while I'm here or anything. And he was like, no, it's, you know, yeah, he's like, nothing's gonna help you now, so it's not really worth trying. And now I'm like, wow. I mean, I understand that maybe there are some medical cases where that could be it, you know, but have a heart, yeah, some bedside manner. Can you be a little more tactful? I don't know. But yeah, that was not impressive either. So anyway, yeah, it's sad. And we've been asked multiple times by multiple people, like, why don't you guys just move? Why wouldn't you move then? If you have lifelong, however long our lives are, lifelong medical care and treatment is going to be required up at Barnes, and we make this trip like every month, sometimes twice a month.
And I'm going to say this: how many people sell, rebuy, not own, and be miserable where we're at up there.
The only benefit really is, besides being closer to the medical, would be closer to my father.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it would be a major setback this late in life, I think.
And even your dad was like, God, I love it down here. I wouldn't want to go back up there.
Yeah, we live, I think technically just outside the Ozarks.
No.
Right? I mean, the Ozarks are
they're
a little ways away, but
a couple hours northwest.
But we live in a very hilly, tree, beautiful, beautiful land out here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's very beautiful. It's wooded. It's got hills. It's gorgeous. And like he said, we own the land that we live on. We don't make payments. We own it. And we own the house that we live in on that land. We don't make payments. We own it. So to try to sell that, I think it would be a loss to try to buy land up closer to a major city like that. We wouldn't get our 5 acres and our house back out of that.
No.
We might sell all of our land and house and be lucky if we got a smaller plot of land and no house. So it's not as easy, and with our medical situation and our financial situation, living off of disability because we are disabled,
Garbage.
What kind of house, land, what kind of loan could we get anyway with that meager little static monthly income of next to nothing?
We could get an alleyway with a 2-story cardboard box and have a mortgage of $1,500 a month.
Pretty much, so that's something else to consider too, is, that's the other side to it, is the means. It's not like we have the means. So we're fortunate in a lot of ways and unfortunate in others, in terms of where I say stuck, but it's not like a negative stuck, like we don't like our land, we don't like our house, we wish we could be anywhere else. We're stuck in that, even though it would be more convenient and probably in a lot of ways beneficial for us to be able to relocate, we're kind of stuck where we are.
I remember when you guys first got here, you were like, oh my God, it's green.
It's green.
And,
California's burnt yellow and orange and
you were
brown.
You were also, you didn't tell me this, but you were thinking about, why don't you move out, just move out here and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you got here, I was like, okay, it's going to be a huge culture shock. They're going to hate it, whatever. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And then total opposite. And they're like, we were thinking about having you come out there, and we're glad we didn't. Because,
I like the country life.
Yeah. And mind you, we're both city people. But
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, we were city kids.
Yeah. It's nice to walk outside and breathe fresh air.
And be able to see the sky at night,
We have some of them. Well, you guys that have seen the pictures on the Facebook group, we have some of the most gorgeous sunsets.
Facts. And, just starry skies and the moon, and I don't know. It could be possible. We've been talking about it. The people in our area have been selling their land, or they've been developing their land.
Yeah.
And civilization is slowly encroaching upon our little piece of country quiet. And I say slowly, but it's actually happening quite quickly.
Yeah.
And we happen to know that some of the landowners out that own adjacent properties are planning on continuing to develop and add, one guy wants to become a trailer park slum lord.
Jesus.
He wants to keep putting trailers, bunches of trailers on.
All I see is that I think it's on Netflix, but Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, and so he's putting modular houses and trailers and stuff.
No, he is not putting modular. He's putting straight up
trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the plots of land that he's buying up out there, and and these aren't nice trailers. We're not talking like brand new trailer homes. We're talking like bought them on Facebook Marketplace and
for $1,000.
For $1,000, put a fancy new sink in it and called it good.
Work on them for 6 months, $500 of duct tape and.
Yeah, so kind of. I'm sorry, but kind of junking up the area.
Kinda.
Yeah, so
it's aggravating.
It is, but what it means though is that if he wants to continue, we may be able to get an offer if we hold out, and they want to expand and they want our land. We might be able to get a pretty decent price that might be able to facilitate us relocating. But you got to think about the cost of packing everything up.
Well,
and
I've already looked. Our land and house is at a quarter. So up in St. Louis area, a quarter of a mil, they ain't gonna do squat. We could buy an RV and live in an RV park. That's about it.
We've thought about that too, doing the whole RV life for some of the medical trips, because we've got surgeries coming up that we're postponing because in my case other medical things have been taking precedence, but also because our surgeries, both of us, we need surgeries that are going to require us to remain near the hospital after surgery, after discharge, but they don't want us traveling and coming home and being that far away for at least 7 days. They want to make sure that we're good for 7 days. Mine are 7 days. Yours is 14, isn't it?
7.
Oh, is it 7? I thought it was 7, and then they do the other surgery, and then
if it wasn't for the MS. No, I can come home after the surgery. The only reason why I got to stay up there 7 days is because
for the testing.
This is a temporary, so everything is done on the outside, not the inside.
Okay. But in any event, we're looking at at least a week of needing to be near those doctors and that hospital, and that's going to be hotels and.
Well, maybe. Good thing about Barnes is if you've got to have a procedure, they do the housing.
Yeah.
If you're out of state.
True. It's just,
it's still a pain in the derriere.
Well, yeah, because we have the livestock, and that's a lot of responsibility on just our daughter. If it's just or just me, if she goes with you, or if I go with you, or you go with me, or she goes with me, it's a lot of responsibility for just one person. For that long. So, lots of inconvenience and struggle with this whole medical thing, and it's just unfortunate that we're two people that we have not uncommon. I wouldn't say our medical conditions in general are uncommon. People have heard of multiple sclerosis and have it, and people have heard of cancer and have it. And tumors.
It's just uncommon for here.
Well, yeah, uncommon for here, but also the type of MS you have is extremely rare. Something's going on up here. And the type of tumors I have are rare.
Slow down, stupid.
So it's just unfortunate. What is happening? Is it just road construction? It looks like a bunch of cops, but it's not, is it? Oh, sorry about the bright lights. They closed an exit?
Jackass behind me is like flashing his lights like I need to speed up. Big old truck driver.
Well, anyway, you guys, we've talked our patooties off for 35 minutes. We'll check in with you guys.
We'll see you in 5 hours because we're done talking now.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a while. See you in a bit. Well, hello again. It is, I can't read the clock. 1:46 a.m. And we are about to cross over into Misery.
If we haven't, have we already?
You said.
Dang, no. Huh?
You said we're about to.
I thought we were.
You were like, get out the camera. We're about to cross over.
I thought. Oh, hell.
What? We've been in Missouri for 16 miles.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't see the
Big blue sign.
Yeah.
We missed it. You guys missed it. I'm sorry. It's his fault.
Welcome to Missouri.
I
got Cargill, Curlerville, Dyeburg, Keenan.
Now we've been in Missouri for 17 miles.
Yes. And now we're in Hata.
Hey, Ty. Well, I turned on the camera really for nothing then.
No, not really.
Well, not nothing, but
Hi.
you said, get out.
Since when did you listen to me?
Yeah, and this is why I don't.
Okay.
I was trying to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
This trip's only 12 hours. Seriously.
Oh my god.
I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to go to the pea lot and take a pee. And I'm going to get you some awesome pepperoni that you love so much.
Do not get me gas station food. It never ends well. It sounds tempting, and sometimes you get hungry enough, but good googly moogly, it does not end well. Yeah, you know, this guy here, this one right here.
This motherfucker right here.
Who said, he was like, yeah, we got a head start and all this stuff. We got drinks and I already took care of the gas and got drinks. You know what? You know what he didn't get?
Snacks.
Road snacks of any kind.
But in my defense, it was midnight. We've got daughter sleeping, dog sleeping, and snacks are, so I honestly forgot. Last time I was a rock star.
The last time. That one time you were
No, the last time we were up here, I was a rock star.
Yeah, you pre-bought snacks.
Yeah, I didn't pre-do shit.
All right, well, we're almost at the urination station, so sorry. I would have shown you crossing into Missouri, and he told me, get ready, we're about to cross into Missouri, and he was wrong.
Yes.
So you didn't get to see it. You missed it.
Oh, we can go to McDonald's. They have one arch on.
One arch. One half of the arch.
Yes.
Ooh, this pilot has an Arbebez.
Yeah, they're close.
And they have a Dunkin'. A Dunkin' Express. This just looks like a scary... This looks like a scary movie place. Like...
No, it's a Dunkin' Express.
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 The P is missing. Are
No,
those
it's
porta
not, 'cause I'm
potties?
getting ready to take it
What
in.
are those?
That's the bathroom I gotta use.
No, that's what I was. Is that a porta potty?
We can take it with us. Never have to stop again.
It is a porta potty. A whole row of them. No thanks.
Oh, I don't care.
That's not really the bathrooms, right?
Yes. Bathrooms are the first 4, and the last 2 are showers.
Stop. All right. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hey, 7:36 a.m. and we are approaching the city.
What time did you say it was?
Did I say 7:36?
Yeah.
4:36.
I was like, wait a minute. Oh, we're heading home again.
It's 4:36 a.m. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Felicia.
It has been raining in the area. We've seen some wetness on the road, some minor puddling, and I checked the Doppler, and St. Louis is gonna have a rough day today, especially west and north. So tired of the rain. He's feeling it in his back. I'm feeling it in my attitude. Like, I just want to be sleeping. But you can see the clouds in the sky and stuff. It's going to get pretty gnarly this morning here. We might get to see some of that action before we leave and on our way out. But I think most of our drive home should be clear according to the Doppler. But you know how those things can change. We stopped and got some of those snacks that someone forgot to procure.
But I made up for it.
Yes, you did. Got some strawberries and a blueberry muffin. Some other little goodies. My favorite, one of my favorite candies, Mamba.
Oh, Mamba.
And someone, in an attempt to stay lively and alert, has been doing the whole... Go ahead, sing the song. I want you, I need you, oh God, please stay.
That was the last song I heard at the gas station. They were like jamming that. It's like, man, it's like freaking 1 o'clock in the morning.
I didn't know Benson Boone got his like start or whatever on American Idol.
Yeah, he quit because if I'm not mistaken, he didn't know he could sing. Someone heard him singing, like, you need to do this. So he did. And he quit because he got a recording contract before, I think it was like the second or third episode. And then he's just been plowing.
Crazy. Yeah, he's been everywhere. Very popular.
He's a natural.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just tootling along. We watched a couple episodes of Catfish. Well, he didn't. He listened. I watched. But I can only take so much of Catfish at, in a short amount of time because it's like the same story every time. I met somebody online. We've been talking for a couple years. We've never FaceTimed. We've never met in person.
I sent him pictures of my chi-chis.
Yeah, I sent nudes but never got any back, or whatever. And is this person real? And then it's been getting drama-y in terms of like they're taking on cases that I swear are like scripted or set up, or whether it's by the Catfish people, like their team, or by the people who are writing in. But the last one we saw was this girl had a 8-year phone, internet, online relationship with someone she thought was a guy, and it turns out that it was a woman who had found her, on Snapchat or something as a teenager, and started talking to her, and when I guess she couldn't convert her to she approached her as a boy, knowing that she liked boys and stuff, and I don't know what the whole deal was, but after years of like getting nowhere romantically with her as a woman, though they had a relationship with her acting like a man, she went and saw something that the woman posted with her best friend. So then the girl who was catfishing, the one girl, went and found her best friend and started an in-person lesbian relationship with the best friend, and continued the catfishing relationship for 8 years with the best friend. And the best friend, it was weird.
That's a whole lot of time for nothing.
That's a whole lot of stalking. Like, I can't have you, so I'm going to find your best friend through one of your posts and go meet them and then build a relationship with them. And oh my gosh.
You sure do got a part of mile.
It's just all strange. I can only handle so much of the crazy episodes before I have to take a little break from it.
It's turned into like a traveling Jerry Springer show.
Yeah, pretty much. Traveling Jerry Springer show is pretty much how I'd describe it too. But yeah, well, it's still dark. We're quite early. We're gonna get there around 5.
Yep.
Which is about an hour and a half earlier than my check-in time. So
I'd rather be safe than
get a
sorry.
little bit of a rest. And I think I surprised Sundown. I warned him it wasn't go. His tactics weren't going to work on me because he tells me we have to leave earlier than we have to, knowing I'm going to run late. But guess what? I was ready before him.
I said 12:30. You wasn't ready before.
I was too. I was diamond painting.
I had to pee.
Oh, you had to POOP. So I was done. I was ready, packed up and ready to go.
If you want to get technical, I thought I had the Pouget, but it was just a PJ.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for informing us.
There's just a lot of Hergé.
Oh, no. You just had to spray some air freshener in the bathroom.
Yeah. LA toot.
LA à la toute. Oh, wait. Eau de toilette. I can't say it.
Well, I mean,
Eau de. I want to say toilette because
it's
that's
all toilet. Anyways. Kind of cologne you wear? I wear a skull, a toilet.
Ooh, somebody's in a hurry.
Everybody. St. Louis.
Yep. See some of that moisture. See, the clouds are a lot more visible in the camera than in person. But anyway, the point is, I was ready to go really early. You didn't say 12:30. You said 12. That's why I got set an alarm for 11 to go shower.
Well, you said
Yeah,
it's 12:30. You were going to get up at 10. You're like, what time you get up? 11. Why are you getting up so early? I said, just relax before we go. I jumped out of bed. I was straight into clothes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was ready to walk out the door where you were walking the opposite direction. You were walking to a different door.
It was still the door.
Yeah, but it wasn't the right door.
Yeah, actually it was. 'Cause standing behind you, that door was to the right. It wasn't the left door, it was the right door.
Oh my gosh. You know what I mean. I was ready. So now we're really early, and maybe we'll get a little bit of a snooze lit if I can manage to get comfortable enough, but at least we'll get to rest a little bit. Stretch the old legs.
Well, at least you don't have to stretch them very far.
Oh my gosh, I'm not that short. Jeez.
You say you're 5'6".
Yeah. Question mark?
Question mark?
Alright. Well, you guys, I'm tired. And I don't have anything new to add to the conversation, so see you later. Bye. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, okay. Yeah. That to me says get out the camera, here it comes. Kind of like, well, hi guys, we're back. Literally 2 seconds later, because he was like, oh yeah, so you go ahead and sign off right as we're coming up to Anheuser-Busch and all that. And I was like, no, because I miss it. That's the other thing I miss every time. So ooh,
the pew.
skunk. So I got the camera back out. And he's like, well, I mean, I said we're coming up on it, and like, it's not yet. Oh my gosh.
They'll never
up around here. You don't even know. You don't even know where it's at, where we are. You don't know
I used to
nothing.
live off of there.
You don't know nothing.
No, I don't.
We probably already passed it. You kind of like we're coming up on the sign on the Welcome to Missouri sign 17 miles ago. Hurry, get your camera out. We're coming up on it. Mile marker 16, 17, 18.
It looked like 1.6.
1.6, my hiney.
No, that's a 10.
Oh, my gosh.
Stop yearning.
I can't help it. I'm tired. I'm yearning to take a nap.
Yearning to take a nap.
Yep.
Man, I can't believe we lived here for a long time.
Yep. I miss Southern Illinois. I really did like living in Southern Illinois. Just on the other side of the river.
I missed St. Louis until I came back with the MS. And I was like, why? I mean, it's nice because, like, you know, there's somewhere to eat on every corner, like Walgreens. They're everywhere.
Well, I miss, having access to a city and all the things that a city can provide, the entertainment and venues, places to go. I miss the Arch and the Science Center and the zoo and stuff like that, and mall.
I don't even really miss all that anymore because it's just so much nonsense.
Well, yeah, but when you want to get away, it's there for you to get away to. And I miss that, but I liked living on the other side where it was more towny and not city.
Yeah.
So, but if I wanted to be in the city, I could drive for 20 minutes and be downtown St. Louis. So
It's like how we are now. I mean, our town's big enough that, they have the concerts and all that stuff, and Little Rock has a zoo, Memphis has a zoo.
yeah.
I want to go to the winery. That's one thing I miss about up here.
Well, I couldn't have none of the samples.
Either can I. No damn well I will. I can take it and sprinkle it in the air like smelling new cologne.
Ooh, a tattoo festival. Look, Tanya. A tattoo festival, June 20th.
Not till doth hair.
Yeah. That would be bad. Oh, is that something to do with the river over there?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The casinos, the riverboat casino,
Yeah,
the
there's
riverboat
so
tours.
many casinos here.
Oh, did I capture a UFO? Maybe. It's the casino. Oh, I'm a casino junkie.
We ought to go down to Tunica
Wonder what that is.
one day.
There's like something in the sky over there. I can't see it because of the lights. Maybe it might have gotten eaten by the clouds. There was some bright light way, way up in the sky. Like not one of these kind of lights. It was way up there. It was like almost like a star or something. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Anheuser.
Maybe it's a plane.
Anheuser will be right up here.
Oh, now we're gonna get an Anheuser. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready for it this time, y'all.
They have some of the prettiest churches here too.
Yeah, because everything is so old. Ha ha ha. There it is. I got it, you guys. Anheuser-Busch. There it is. Bye, Anheuser-Busch.
I would like to go to Grant's farm one time when we're up here. Because we can see all the...
That's one place I never went.
Oh, God, I love that place. See the Clydesdales and all that stuff.
Never got to go there. Isn't there a Knott's Berry farm somewhere?
There's a... On the other side of the river, wasn't there like a big, huge apple and peach orchard?
I don't remember. I know there was a monstrously huge ketchup bottle.
Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers that.
Yeah, that was in Collinsville.
Wasn't it like a big Heinz or something? Heinz or something?
I don't remember what brand. It was just...
I mean, massive.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was a really big, really big.
I think like 100 foot tall or something like that.
Oh,
I mean,
it was
it's
like
huge.
a water tower type of big.
Like, if it had a spout, our daughter would empty it in like 3 days.
Facts. And then Six Flags is only about an hour from here, isn't it? In Eureka.
Yeah.
So.
And then they have Yosemite Park. Their Christmas lights are freaking cool. You can do a horse and buggy.
Oh, wow. See, I used to take Allie to do the Science Center, the zoo, Six Flags, holiday lights, stuff at the Arch, fireworks and stuff at the Arch. When we lived here, when she was real little. She doesn't remember any of it now, but...
Yeah, but I mean, that stuff you could... It's just so...
It's stuff that you could come into. We lived close enough to like we could come into town to do that stuff and then leave.
And what's crazy is everyone thinks of Nolans as having like, you know, Mardi Gras. St. Louis actually has the second largest Mardi Gras.
Huh. Oh look, they have the blue street lights, like those one highway lights that we see.
Oh, Kennett.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I never desired to live in the city, like in it. At least not after I had my daughter. But I really, like I said, I did like living like in Alton or Collinsville, Belleville.
Oh, all Fast Eddie's.
I did really enjoy living in those Illinois side kind of suburby where literally you could just within a half hour be in downtown St. Louis and
I can't think of it.
enjoy the city but not live in it.
Alton was the home of the Gentle Giant.
Well, it also has a famous couple of famous haunted buildings that have been on ghost shows and stuff.
Yeah, but
I should do an episode of Tales from the Crypt on that.
yeah. Oh God, what was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
They got a statue of him in Alton.
I don't know that I ever thought we weren't there long. I think we were there a year or less.
Yeah, Alton's changed. They got a huge casino now.
Interesting. Miss Casinos.
Like, are you familiar with Fast Eddie's?
No,
Okay.
don't remember it. Comment below if you know what the heck he's talking about, because I sure don't. Somebody clue me in.
Fast Eddie's is...
Oh, he will.
It used to be this like little hole in the wall, but shrimp were 25 cents. Nothing on the menu was over $1.99. Cheeseburgers, kebabs, all that stuff.
I don't know if I would trust that food then.
Oh, they got some of the best food. I'm telling you. It used to be owned by Anheuser-Busch. But their beer come out of tap so cold that it had ice crystals in it.
Huh.
You go there for $20, get sloshed in full. 2 people.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. We've seen Anheuser-Busch, and you guys already know where we're going. Barnes Jewish, and it's just up the road.
Hell with that. I'm tagging you. We're going to go there.
To the rail?
Oh, you want some?
You want to rail me?
I'm going to ride that train. Toot, toot.
Oh my gosh. What a dork.
1990.
That was a good song.
All songs back then were good.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm sorry. Probably make a lot of people mad.
Uh-oh,
but
here it comes.
Well, 70s, 80s, and 90s had some of the best music. Early 2000s.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan of a whole bunch of current music. I see Barnes to the right.
No right on Red Bull. No right on Red Bull.
And there was some blinky cop-like lights over there too.
No, that's just them light poles, them pole lights.
Pole lights?
Pole lights.
They're not too polite if you break the law.
Yeah, but they're not those kind of lights. It's so people don't hit it.
Oh, well, it sure looks like a polite to me.
No.
A police polite.
No, it's a regular pole with a light. Blue and red.
A regular pole with a light. Oh, and there's Barnes Jewish.
What
there
the flack did they do?
More to this road.
Holy farfanukin.
This poor bridge never gets done. Always something.
It gets done. Second Tuesday next week.
See it? There it is, you guys, right there. Barnes Jewish.
It's Barnes Jewish.
Yeah, you guys are gonna know how to get. We've been coming so often this past year. You're gonna know how to get to and from without ever having been in this city. You could live in another freaking state or country, never having been to St. Louis, and be
turn
like,
the camera on, you're going, oh, they're at mile marker 146.
I know how to get to Barnes Jewish. Oh my gosh. Boy.
We get
I just saw something that said urban legend.
when we have time to just kind of gallivant around town, Dogtown, Little Italy, those would be some cool places. Del Mar, the Loop. Go down there and do vlogs on so people can see, because those places are really cool.
Yeah, you guys only get to see to the doctor and home from the doctor. I should have done some of these early on when we used to get hotels for the night.
People don't want to watch what we're, well, I mean, they might.
No, I mean, when we had the extra time, we were here and we could have run around, or the view from the hotel that we like to stay at is phenomenal.
My bad. I thought we were talking about it.
Okay, it's time for me to get off of here. He's being a goofball.
That's what he said.
All right, you guys. I'll see you after the MRI. Bye. Hi, everybody. It is 9:42, and we are just now leaving. Oh, and it's storming, and it's going to storm most of the way home. Yay. No, I looked at the Doppler.
I think it'll be out of the area soon.
Okay. Why did an MRI that I check in at 6:30, get the IV, and I hop in the machine at 7 a.m. turn into, and it's a 45-minute MRI, why did it turn into me not getting out of the building until 9:30 a.m.?
Because it took them 10 sticks to get the damn needle in here.
Yes,
And
because...
then you had to go to your knuckle. Sorry, I'm a little...
he's upset.
I was at the point, I'm like,
he was trying to,
let's go.
Yeah, he was trying to shut it all down. And I was like, no, we drove 6 hours, or, well, 5. About 5. We got here an hour early.
I was like, I don't give a shit. We're out.
And I refused to. I was like, I'll let them do one more time. I had one person, and I guess they're supposed to stop after 3 sticks, but...
Yeah, because I asked, and she got real quiet.
Yeah, one person tried to get me... You probably can't see in this light. Once in the top, I'll just tell you. Once in the top of my hand, once in my elbow crease, and then once in the top of my other hand. Unsuccessful. And then he tried in the elbow crease of my other. So he tried 4 times. You're only supposed to try 3. He tried 4. Couldn't get it. Called in his little next door neighbor and the lady in the next room that was doing other people. Called her in. She tried on top of my left hand and in my left elbow crease and couldn't get it. So then she was like, well, let's warm your arms up with these heating blankets. Tried that, and then she tried again in my right top of my right hand, right where he had tried, and in my right elbow crease where he had tried. So they both tried 4 times in the 4 same spots and were unsuccessful. So they had to call the charge nurse, and they covered me in these warming blankets to try to, I don't know, entice my veins into evolving into better veins. I don't know.
I thought that's what cold was supposed to do.
No, I don't know. It's warm. It's supposed to make the blood come to the surface. And plump up your veins is my understanding. But in any event, so while I'm sitting there in basically a heat suit, they called the charge nurse, and she came and talked to me, and she was like, well, you can either reschedule and we can try again another time, or I can put in calls over to the CT department and see if one of their IV people can come over and try. And while we wait for to see if the hospital has a certified ultrasound person that can come over, bring an ultrasound machine over and come over and find us a vein for you. And I was like, fine, we'll wait. And Sundown was like, no, let's get out of here. And I'm like, no, we'll wait. So the CT girl comes over, and she tries again. She tried up in my elbow crease, didn't she? Yeah, my right elbow crease for the 3rd time
because
total.
She felt it.
Because the problem was that they kept saying that I felt it for a second. I felt your vein for a second, and then it just disappeared. I felt it for a second. I can get it. So she tried for the 3rd time in the same freaking place, left, armpit. So here I'm up to, that's 9 sticks. Then she tried my top of my right hand, and excuse me. They blew the vein in my right hand. It's all swollen to hell, and then they said, we blew this vein, we can't use it. So then she was like, sorry, I have to. And she went in my right knuckle with an IV.
She was trying everything to avoid that area. And
she was trying not to hurt me. And she kept saying she was sorry, but she got it in. So finally, and Sundown said that was at, what'd you say, 8:30?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah. I was supposed to be I was in there at 6:27, and it took him till 8 o'clock to get an IV in me. Finally, pretty immediately, they got me in the MRI machine, but the girl that was running the MRI machine was training a young man. Normally, I wouldn't mind, but I didn't realize that it was going to almost double the time I was in the dang machine. Doubled how long my MRI was supposed to take. It was a 45-minute MRI. I get these done every 3 months. I know I know how short it is. It's one of the shorter ones. And it took an hour and a half for them to do this. And so here we are, 9:47 now, and we are just leaving the area. So tired.
Sundown
frustrated.
Has left the building.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was trying to get me to leave, you all. He was like, no, I can't watch this anymore, because I mean, it hurt so bad. All the attempts hurt so bad, because not only were they attempting to get the IV catheter in, they were also like doing what I call needle sex, which is where they back up but don't pull the needle out. They back it up and then they, dig around and then shove back in, and then pull back a little bit and dig around, shove back in, almost like they're trying to, have sexual relations with the needle in my hand, back in and out, in and out, in and out. Super painful. And then, of course, because they put it in the knuckle of the hand that had a blown vein, when they used the machine to push the dye through, the technicians were warned by the nurse and by me that the dye needed to go in slow, and because of the blown vein in my hand, and the fact that it was in my knuckle, which is a fragile vein, a fragile small vein. And okay, whatever. And they used the freaking automated little machine, the dye pumping machine, and I felt it. It just squirted it in there, and it felt like somebody exploded a grenade in my hand. I thought that my hand had exploded. I for the first time in 4 or 5 years that I've been getting these MRIs every 3 months, for the first time, any MRI ever in all these years, I squeezed the ball. I squeezed the emergency ball. That's how painful it was. That's how serious it was. That's how sure I was that my hand had just been blown off by a grenade. And I tried. She was like, "Can I help you? You're doing great." And I was like, "No, I'm not doing great. No, we just pushed the dye through. It's going to be cold and you're going to feel, go in and the pressure of it." And I'm like, no, you don't understand. "Oh, no, I understand. You're doing fine." Totally dismissed me. And I'm like, I'm in pain. Like, not normal pain. This is pain. Well, finally, she ignored me, and we finished the test, and we get out, and she goes to take off my IV, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, your hand is so swollen. I'm so sorry."
We tried to tell you.
I was like, "I tried to tell you." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't realize." I'm like, "What? You did realize, because I emergency balled you and told you."
But you did get her back, because you said that when she pulled the needle.
Yeah, I did.
You
kind of
spat on her.
Yeah, when she pulled the IV out, because I am on blood thinners for stroke prevention or whatever management, she got a good squirt. And I was like, well, and she said did that partially because of the blown vein. And I was like, and it was like backing and pulling up, the blood was in my hand. I was like, tried to tell you. And she was like, "I didn't realize it was this bad. I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should listen to the people that emergency ball you for the first time in the history of ever. Oy. So yeah, I'm grumpy. I'm tired. I am in more pain than I should be. You should not leave an MRI in pain. A routine MRI in pain. Now obviously if you got it because you have an injury or something that they need to check on, obviously you're still going to be in pain when you come out. It's not a magic machine that fixes you. But I should not have left that MRI in pain, is what I'm saying.
No, even the nurse was like, "Too bad we just can't use your veins."
Yeah. When they call the significant other back and, to be with you and hold your hand. And when they're talking about having to call other departments and possibly rescheduling you, it's bad. So, and of course, I did get the "you need a port" lecture again. So, yeah, Lisa, if you're watching, I might be joining you in the port club. But in any event, I'm going to get off here. We're going to go hunt some food in the wilds of St. Louis in the middle of this rainy stuff, and I'll check back in with you. Now we're not going to be home at a reasonable-ish time. Now it's going to be a suckier time. Because I thought we'd be gone by 8.
We should be home by 3.
I hope. Yeah, we should have left by 8 too. And look what happened. So, don't make me promises. Okay. See you guys later. Bye. Yeah, see there's my boo-boo hand. Look. Okay, bye. Hey guys, 11:18. We did stop for breakfast. Some breakfast sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
We used the McDonald's app and we got buy one breakfast bagel, get one free. And I like me a Beckby. A Beckby is a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel.
Oh yeah. And they were actually good here.
Yeah, they were really good, but did set us further behind in the whole getting home goal, but we're on the road now and it's so beautiful through here. All the like rolling hills and the green trees, you can see it all in the background. I love it. It's so pretty. It's been raining on and off, as you can probably see from the clouds. I'm really, really tired. This was kind of a emotionally and physically draining experience. My head hurts really bad, which is not usual after these MRIs, but yeah, I'm right-handed. My whole right hand is swollen. In between the knuckles and the top part of my hand, even on the sides of my hand, they blew it up. They blew the crap out of my hand. And so, not sure how much more I'll film on the way home because it kind of hurts to hold the camera and stuff. But and like I said, I am really tired. What? You keep looking. What?
Oh no, I was just checking out your hand.
So yeah, just want to check in. We're heading home. We're hoping to be home probably like 4 now.
Yeah.
Hope to be home somewhere around 4. We'll see. All right, you guys. And tonight's tonight for me, but not for you when you see this, is Spilling the Tea live premiere with a Crafty-ish Kristyn. Our latest
June 4th.
Yeah, on June 4th. The episode is called Under Pressure. We talk about some of the pressures that we've personally faced as small YouTube channel content creators. So, interesting episode, and might be kind of enlightening too, you know. And we're curious to see if there are any other creators, big or small, that might be out there that feel some of the same pressures, and maybe what some pressures subscribers might feel, you know.
Yes.
It's not all about us. We want to know, you know, what maybe there's some aspects to feeling some pressure from creators that subscribers face that we don't know about, and we'd love to hear about it all. But yeah, I hope to get a little nap in first, though. We'll see what time I get home, if I'm gonna be able to sneak in, squeeze in a little nappy pappy. But until then, yeah, we're heading home. See you later. And we're back. It's 12:40 and we're still in Missouri. The rain has ceased, but we are still 2 hours and 43 minutes from home. We did make a pit stop at the urination station in Perryville. And as luck would have it, anyone who's familiar with like getting MRIs with contrast and stuff, they encourage you to flush your system of said, you know, dye products by drinking a lot and using the urination station a lot to get it all flushed out. I'd be happy to accommodate that if all 3 stalls at the gas station we stopped at had not been broken. All 3 of them, non-functioning, non-flushing. And I wasn't gonna go there. I could have added to the collection of the petri dish of pee.
Which is unusual because like that's one of the main reasons why we stopped there, because their bathrooms are always so clean.
Yeah, they were just remodeled actually, if I'm not mistaken, recently, and they're always usually clean, but all the toilets didn't flush. And as excited as I was to add my contribution to the DNA fluid pool, no. So yeah, we're back on the road, and I'll try again at the next pit stop. But I just want to go home at this point. I'm ready to pull the old trucker move. Hand me a bottle, babe. If it gets bad, I'll go in it. No, I'm kidding, folks. I would not. I mean, I suppose I was gonna say it's not doable, but I suppose technically, if there's a will, there's a way. It's doable, but I could foresee it being very disgusting, very messy, very. Ugh. I would not be a good like totally nature camper or hunter. A hunter lady. I would need one of those funnels, one of those lady funnels. But yeah, so we're on the road, exit 96, so I guess we're 96 miles from Arkansas. I'm so tired, and things keep slowing us down, like failed pit stops. Yeah, there's a bunch of places right here we could have stopped, but we don't want to, and I don't really need to. I'm just encouraged to. I just want to go home. I thought we'd be home, almost home by now. Oh no! What you didn't see was this man right here yawning, the biggest yawn ever. He's driving. No yearning. No. Got some. I don't normally drink energy drinks because of anxiety and like whatever, but these don't affect me that bad. Can I get a picture there? Hello? I don't know if you can see it, but Ghost Welch's Grape. It's so good.
Yeah, that's the only energy drinks I drink because they're the only ones that don't have that bad
jittery, heart racing.
Yeah, it's made from natural caffeine from coffee beans.
Well, and that's the only reason I was willing to risk, having one, is because it doesn't affect him. So I'm like, it probably won't affect me, and if it does, I have my anxiety meds. But it tastes just like Welch's grape juice, carbonated Welch's grape juice.
Yeah, the grape soda.
Yes, and I'm like, gulp, 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 nom, 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 nom. I have to like keep reminding myself, slow down, mushy. You don't need to like suck it all down in one sip.
Yes, you do.
But I could because it's so yummy. Very, very yummy. We did also see the new Sprite plus tea, and I'm not the biggest like iced tea lover, like plain iced tea, and I really don't like sweet tea. I know. Comments down below tell me how horrible I am for disliking sweet tea and being in the South. I'm just a Yankee. I like more like green tea, or I like hot teas. I like honey, citrus, lemon tea. But I gave it a try, and it's not bad. But
it's not your cup of tea.
It's just not my cup of tea. It tastes a lot like sweet tea to me. I think anybody who likes sweet tea would like it. It's like a carbonated sweet tea.
It depends. It's okay, but if you don't like bottled tea that you buy at the gas station, you won't like this. If you like bottled tea and you like Sprite, you will like it.
Yeah, but
I don't like bottled tea. I like fresh brewed tea.
at the pretty green fields and the blue skies with the poofy clouds. So we're gonna take them home to Leah and see if she we each took a sip out of one and see what she thinks. I'll drink it if she really doesn't like them. I'll drink them, but yeah. So that's about all for an update. Oh, I saw the mailman came to my house with some packages and they had ephemera 3D stickers on them. So, I believe, Cass and Tyler, I believe your packages have arrived from what I saw on the security cameras. And I'm thinking some things for the Garcia family have arrived. And I'm very excited to be able to take that over and show them the goodies, because I know what they are. Some really, really nice heartfelt gifts from Ephemera 3D to the Garcia family. I'm preemptively saying thank you to Cass and Tyler because I already know what they are, and I don't have to even open the box to know that they're going to absolutely love and be totally moved by your thoughtful gifts that you've made them, and I appreciate it. Cass and Tyler. More Cass than Tyler. I'm not even any time. I'm not blowing kisses at Tyler. Those were only for Cass.
That's not what I heard.
Tyler can have the boop, the nose boop. Boop, boop, boop. How about that? But, yeah, we're still on the road and gonna be for a while, and it's killing me because I just want to be at home now. I don't like being outside of the safety of my home. No results yet on my MRI, which is kind of odd because usually, they're on top of it. And I was like, well, I would have been the first MRI of the morning if they could have got the IV catheter in me, but, it was one of the first at least still, and I would have thought they would have been red by now. But I realize I have a complicated situation and I need to be patient because the radiologist is probably looking at that like playing a game of connect the dots or something. Counting and losing count and having to start over. 1, 2, 24, 25, 26. What? Oh no. Let me start over. 1, 2. But anyway, yeah, we'll check back in. Please hope that we get home soon because Boomland. Is that like?
They yell like a bunch of fireworks.
Okay. I thought maybe it was an adult like Lion's Den. No. Boomland.
That'd be the Boom.
Oh, the Boom Land. Yeah. Speaking of things of this inappropriate nature, the machine, the like brand of MRI machine they slid me into was not a Tesla, like up on in the brain MRI area. This one was a Siemens. I am not kidding. I made the most immature jokes going in this being slid into the Siemens tube.
Well, blow me now.
I'm not kidding. I promise you that was the brand the brand name of the MRI machine. They had assured me that I was not the first one to make that joke.
The semen didn't hit you when the testicles going in, did it?
No, it didn't. It enveloped me. It enveloped me. Now I know what I guess a lost memory of when I was a strong swimmer, what it was like to be shot out of the tube. Yeah, I heard lots of loud noises and then all of a sudden they were like, all right, it's time to come out, and shoom. I was like, ta-da. Oh, this is terrible. Maturity at its finest, folks. That's us. Okay, on that note, we'll talk to you later. 2:52 p.m. way past when I thought we'd be home or hoped we'd be home. How much longer do we have?
35 minutes.
Oh, well, that's not too bad, I guess.
We're turning right on 555.
So I learned this cool new trick on this trip. You know, there's that trend with that really popular song. I want you, I need you, oh God.
Please.
That's it? You're not gonna do the rest?
No.
You can't just do the please.
Please. I want you, I need you, hold on.
I found out it's a sundown trigger. There's another one. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth?
Oh, heaven is the place come now. Listen to Belinda Carlisle. You'll hear it in her voice.
Oh my gosh. And then how about Dirty Diana?
Dirty banana. Oh, you're welcome.
What was the other?
Credence.
Yeah.
There's a bathroom on the right. Don't go out tonight.
Oh my gosh.
There's bound to be there's a bathroom on the right.
A bathroom on the right and Dirty Banana.
Don't forget about
what's the name of the song? APT or something?
I can't even sing it normal now because I just hear that.
I popped out my tit. I popped out my tit. I popped out my tit.
Listen to it, you'll hear it.
I had seen on a Facebook reel or TikTok or something, a deaf woman had seen that video or that song or whatever, and there were no captions, and she was lip reading, and she thought that's what that's what she was singing. And she was signing it also, so it was kind of funny. Did you know? Did you pop one out? Did you pop yours out, Sundown?
Yes. Look, the cloud. It's a turkey.
Oh, a turkey cloud.
It's a turkey. Like a turkey you have on Thanksgiving, not a turkey with feathers.
Oh, okay.
That was basted.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you can tell we're getting tired. We get more mature the more tired we get.
Dirty banana. Oh.
But yeah, we're only about 30 minutes away from home. Yay!
34.
Oh, 34. Okay. Well, you know what I mean. My hand is better and not better. And I don't know how well you can see. Still very swollen, and it hurts to still make a fist. But that's where they got me on this one, and then in my knuckle is where the IV actually went in. But then there's like 2 attempts in that hand. They got me in some elbow creases, and then you can see where they tried to double dip over here too. So like my elbow crease hurts. My arms hurt to open or close, like bend or straighten, and my hands hurt to anything. And
they should have had me come in and do your IV.
Oh God, no!
Why? This little prick always hits the right spot.
Oh my gosh, no! Stop, Sundown. I did. Fun fact. I did try to sneak in some diamond painting right before we left, and I might have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I forgot, but I had made sure not to have any of my rings on today and stuff, so I didn't have to keep track of them and mess with it. Get out to the car, and I go to start the video and realize that I had left my nail saver on my freaking thumb. So now it's in my purse, and hopefully I don't forget that I left it there. But I'm telling you, I forget that thing all the time. I showered with it the other day by accident, took off all my other rings, didn't didn't even think to take off the nail saver. I mean, it's like a permanent attachment at this point. Like, I'm more often than not, I have it on. I have it on and I stab myself in the face. I have it on and through the shower.
You have it on and you decide you want to go skiing and it's flipped the wrong way around.
Gosh.
Guys out there, you know what I'm saying?
No. But, Lepanto. Who names these towns? Lepanto.
Same one that named
Cooter.
And
Yeah, we say this every video. Because by the time we reach these towns, we're
Needham.
at peak tiredness, which means peak maturity. And so we start bringing up all the names. Bald Knob. Oh my god.
I got that Bald Knob over there in that cooter. Somebody needs some ham. Those are all real names.
They're in Lepanto. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you guys, we're nearing the end. And surprisingly, we're getting home because my appointment was so early. We're getting home.
Thank God they had that marked tree. We didn't know where to turn.
True, man.
Yeah, no, this is Tyrone's ass. This is Tyrone's ass.
Oh my god. Tyronza. Oh boy. But yeah, no, sadness. I think that's a bear cub. Oh, is that a little bear cub? That looked like a little bear cub.
No, it looked like a
It looked like a bear cub.
it looked like a cub, but the meow meow plant. I'm trying to think of what we have here. We have
It was all brown.
I know, and the baby cubs are that color too.
Not mountain.
Not a mountain. I don't think we have mountain lions here, but we have some kind of
Cougar?
yes. We have some big ass kitty here.
That looked like a little bear cub to me. And we did have a bear cub running around Jonesboro last year.
What do you mean?
They never found it.
That fool was never gotten.
But I mean, so there are bears out here somewhere.
Bear, wild boars, coyotes.
That looked like a poor little bear cub. Anyway, yeah, we're almost home, and hopefully I'll update you when we get home. But I'm so tired that and I have that live premiere tonight that I've got to be try to tippy-tappy-typey my way through with a broke butt hand. All right, and it is 3:49. We had to stop at the dollar store and get toothpaste and dish soap, and we are home. Home on the range.
Sorry about the yardage. I've been trying to cut.
Well, it's been raining for on and off forever, and then the one day it doesn't rain, we're out of town. But home we are. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. We'll see you on the next trip. Stay naughty.